It's like I knew that I was different, but I didn't know how. I knew that I experienced emotions much more intensely than most people, but I didn't know why. I had just quit teaching yoga because I was finally at a point where I was like, I just want to focus on acting and singing and dancing and performing. I just want to put all my energy into that. And I started to get very intense and hyper and emotional. I was singing a lot and I was creating music and writing a lot, and I was just like, oh my God, it feels so good to do this. And because it felt so good, I didn't want to stop. I wanted to keep going and going and going and going and going. And I realized that I was getting more energy. The more I was going, the more energized I got. And then I realized that I didn't need as much sleep anymore. And then I followed my gut into hitting a place of full-on mania, which is where I was starting to have delusions and hallucinate and pretty much lose my mind, but I had no idea. And it was my friend Annie, and she was the one who basically kind of saved me, took me to urgent care and to see a psychiatrist who told me that I was bipolar and that I was experiencing mania. I was shocked. I was shocked and super confused because while I was in this manic episode, that was when I felt like the most sure of myself. So to be told that you were experiencing mania when you were in a place where you're super confident, that's terrifying. When I first started taking medication, it was really awful because I was just exhausted and I felt just, because I was very manic at the time. So the medication I was taking was designed to bring me down. That is what it does. And it did. And I hated it because it was so much on my body and it was so new to my system that it was very, very, very effective in ways that it was too effective. I had no motivation to do anything, right? But I forced myself during this period to wake up and write about how I was feeling each morning. And then my parents were here and they were supporting me and helping me for a couple weeks, which helped a lot. They helped with that time when I was still adjusting to the medication. Now I'm at a place where I'm pretty adjusted to it. And I feel, again, what's normal, but I don't feel I have no access to my emotions. I'm still my emotional self. People hear bipolar disorder and it is a very serious diagnosis, absolutely. But I also feel like at the same time, it's seen a lot worse than what it really is, just because it is perfectly possible to have a normal life, whatever that means, but to live your life in a way that that diagnosis isn't going to get in the way of, as long as you take care of yourself. If I didn't have this dog, I don't think I would be going outside as much as I do, but I spend at least 2 or 3 hours outside for her. And I go to we go on a little mini hike, we go to a dog park, we go to this other park with a lot of grass. So I give her like so many different experiences outside, but it's also giving me those experiences outside. I feel weirdly safer now because like I know what I am. Like it was really interesting. There's somebody who I talked to right after I was diagnosed where he said to me, he was like, "Oh, so basically the day of your diagnosis was your birthday." And I was like, that's a weird thing to say. But then I thought about it and I get it. I understand what he's saying, that it's like now that I know what is happening with my body and with my mind and who I am, because I've accepted that bipolar is, it's not disorder, because it's not, it's just me. It's who I am, and there's nothing wrong with that.